Hello everyone, Jurassic Man here, and today we're going to do a review on the Wave 2 figures of the Attack Pack dinosaurs and Flying Reptile. Because this new wave has new Attack Pack dinosaurs, one that we have seen in Toy Fair but haven't been released yet. Now that they're released alongside with the Wave 3 dinosaurs, which is kind of confusing as they kind of mixed the first two new waves apparently. But I say it's better. I mean, I guess. I mean, the Grab and Growl Indoraptor was supposed to be a Wave 3 figure, and the Spinosaurus was supposed to be Wave 2, but apparently they're both released at the same time, depending on your location. And so, yeah, I guess we could say this is all just one big Wave 2. Which means Wave 3 will be around holiday season, which is coming around the corner, if you don't know that. But as I was saying, we're going to take a look on the new Attack Pack. This one is obviously the Herrerasaurus. A little fact about this dinosaur, it was featured in the original Jurassic Park in the guidebook, where it shows all the dinosaurs listed along with Herrerasaurus and many others. Although, I don't know if Metricanthrosaurus was there too, since we'll do a review on that another time. But overall, this Herrerasaurus is mainly based around that of his game appearance in the Jurassic Park, the game from Telltale. A game that a lot of Telltale fans don't even talk about, which is kind of strange, but I can see why. Not saying the game is bad, I'm just saying it's not as entertaining as for us Jurassic Park fans. Kind of getting some continuity in there. Oh, whatever. Overall, I think this is a very decent figure. I did a lot of bashing when it first came out because I thought the neck was small and weird looking. But I grew into it and now I kind of appreciate it. Makes me want to get the battle damage one since I see it all the time. But yeah, it has a nice look to this. And we look at the back of the box. We get a picture of the rest of the Wave 2 figures. The Attack Pack Sticky Moloch, the Attack Pack New Dimorphodon, and new Velociraptor. It seems the Velociraptor, if you can see very well, seems to be more of a tiger stripe than the one we got. As you can see, it has a white underbelly, and yet it doesn't in the actual figure. It's strange. But overall, let's get right into a review of this nicely done package. Now, to give ahead of time, I actually got two of the resources. This one is, of course, already unsealed, but I'm actually going to give this away, not a giveaway, but give away to one of my nephews, as he'll love this figure. And go straight into the already open one. Maybe we'll do a comparison with the other two. We'll see. Now, comparing the two dinosaurs with another Attack Pack figure, the Dilophosaurus, as you can see, they scale up pretty nicely, along with a human figure like Alan Grant, although in the game the Herrerasaurus might be actually around this size, which is pretty good and pretty accurate, continuing the Jurassic Park tradition of making certain dinosaurs larger than their real-life counterpart, or in this case, smaller than the real-life counterpart. Such a shame. I wish I could have just kept a version of the novel, but that's my opinion. Overall, this Herrerasaurus is a very nice figure. Something I've noticed that a lot of the dinosaurs that have two more figures of themselves are actually the exact same sculpt, however they're tweaked a bit. A perfect example will be the T-Rex or the Stiggy himself. As you know that the Stiggy is literally the exact same model but tweaked in different ways. Not saying it's bad, but how they tweaked them is really smooth and nice and neat. The only one I could say that aren't really the same are that of the Pachycephalosaurus, as I did some side comparisons. Not with the actual thing, but with a toy and a picture of myself, and I just noticed that they actually look somewhat different. So that opinion might change when I actually get the actual figures, since I only had it for a short while. But as I'm saying, literally the same sculpt as that of the Attack Pack version. However, it's degraded in certain ways, such as details. They're not popped out as much as that of the Attack Pack version, even though I don't have one, but I can notice that they're a bit smoother. This is an $8 figure, so you have to bear with it. Overall, the sculpt and the position this Herrerasaurus is in is very nicely made. It has a very nice looking Herrerasaurus head, not as comparable as that of this video game counterpart. It has unpronated hands, which is pretty good in my opinion, because I like a bit more of accurate dinosaurs in my opinion. Its overall body is very nice. Its tail could be a bit longer, and the same problem with the Herrerasaurus from before is this head. That head is ridiculously short. I guess it makes sense for saving packaging, but overall, it's not very well. Now, I do have to say the feet are very large, but it's not the feet that have the problem, it's how they're positioned. The way it's boxed in makes the Herrerasaurus warped in its package, making some wobbly features to it. But overall, I feel like it could be fixed with just some heating on this leg. It seems like this leg is the one that's actually warped out the most, as you can see right here. It's supposed to be like that, but it's like that. Just push it in with heat, cool it off, and it's fixed. Not sure if that's all of them, since both of them have them, so I'm guessing it might be a continuous problem with this Herrerasaurus itself. But yeah, articulations are very nice, and they're very hard and solid. This one actually has a ratchet joint, unlike that of the other ones, which means it fits in a position similar to like this, and very nicely. It has arm joints, as obviously, unlike that of his battle damage counterpart. These joints can't go out, as they are basically the attack pack. Its tail is on a swivel as well. Don't know why you want to swivel it. And sadly, it is not painted. It's one of the few attack packs that don't have paint. The rest of the body is nicely painted. It's nice brown red with this golden red on top with a bit of shade of black, along with a small yellow eye. The neck is articulated, unlike most of the attack packs in this line, especially for land carnivores. So that's neat right there. And there's a linely sculpt with the wrinkles on the side to give you that position it is supposed to be in. The jaw, however, is articulated, very much articulated, as it can widely open its mouth. Basically, that's its limit right there, but you can stretch it out even more because of its huge gaping jaw. Now, if you notice, it breaks the sculpt here, so you have to align it with the sculpt to get that perfect feature right there. The mouth is nicely painted inside, though only in the tongue, and the inside of the sculpt of the mouth is pretty good as well. I do have to say mine is a bit of dribble paint mess on the teeth, especially on the lower jaw. As you see on the left side of the jaw, the paint smears underneath. On the right side, it doesn't go in all the way. Both of them have them, and I can't find a single Herrerasaurus that did not have that when I was buying them. But yeah, I got this Herrerasaurus pretty cheap actually. The Walmart rollback is still going, and they're putting the attack packs on $6 actually. Well, taxes. I bought two of them, and it's roughly around $15. And I think there was two in the game. I don't remember. I haven't played it in a long time. But if there was two, I got two Herrerasauruses from the game's counterpart, and that's pretty good. Let's put you in the back. But yeah, sculpt is very nice, not as detailed as the battle damage version, and its paint job is nice, along with articulations. So, with that out of the way, let's get right into comparisons. Comparing the Herrerasaurus with an Alan Grant figure, aka a 3.75-inch figure, you can see it scales up pretty nicely with Alan right here. Though I'm not sure how accurate it is to the actual size of the Herrerasaurus in real life, but I overall say it's pretty good. As the size compares to the Dilophosaurus, we've recently just seen them, and overall, I feel like they're pretty much the same, considering that the Dilophosaurus is slightly smaller than Alan Grant, real life to that of Jurassic Park's version, but not very accurate in real life. If anything, the Dilophosaurus should be around this big with the Herrerasaurus, but what do you got to lose? Here's a comparison with the Herrerasaurus with the Roarvor's Ceratosaurus. And overall scale wise, I think they're pretty good in Jurassic Park's size. Not very accurate to his real life counterparts, considering that this is actually a Triassic dinosaur and this is a Jurassic dinosaur, so they're not far apart. Well, technically, late Jurassic, late Triassic, the other way around, but yeah, they're not very far apart considering each other, and overall say it's a pretty good sculpt. And here's a comparison of the next review, the Herrerasaurus Roar. And overall, I gotta say, they don't scale up very well, because the Herrerasaurus is much larger in like this in real life compared to a human figure. The Herrerasaurus would be the size of Allosaurus, considering the Roar and Allosaurus are practically the same size. So, yeah, you have to live with that. So what score would I give this Herrerasaurus? Well, it's a pretty good sculpt, pretty good colorations, and its articulations are not that bad compared to an attack pack. But overall, I feel like this Herrerasaurus is lacking some features, but then again, this is a pretty cheap toy, so you have to live with that, in a way. Sizing with the rest of the figures, they go out very well with each other, but I feel like they could have done a bit more with the Herrerasaurus, especially the neck area. I'll be doing that complaint whenever I get the battle damage version, which I see all the time, and I'm just waiting for it to go down a little bit more, since it's on sale on Walmart for $6. If I had to get a score, I would give this Herrerasaurus a 3.5 out of 5. Mainly my only problem is just the lack of neck thereof. And maybe a bit more color on the tail. But this is a pretty cheap toy, so you have to go with that. Overall, the whole figure itself is pretty nice. It goes around for at least $8 in stores, considering Walmart's having a sale right now for them for $6 plus tax. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this review. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.